In the heart of the African savanna, amidst sprawling plains and ancient baobabs, lay the village of Nzuri. This village, where tradition thrived and stories of old were passed down through generations, was home to the Nyakato family. They lived in a grand home, a symbol of their prosperity and influence. The father, Kofi, was a respected leader, and the mother, Kayon, a beloved healer. Their two children, Kwame and Abena, lived a life of comfort and joy, surrounded by the love and protection of their parents. Kofi, do you think Kwame will follow in your footsteps as the village leader? Kayon asked one evening as they sat under the vast, star-studded sky. Kofi smiled, watching Kwame chase fireflies with his sister.
He has a good heart and a sharp mind. If it is his destiny, he will make a great leader. And Abena, she has your gift.
Kayon continued, her eyes softening as she watched her daughter help a younger child who had fallen.
She will be a healer like her mother.
The Nyakato's home was always bustling with activity. Villagers would come to seek Kofi's counsel or Kayon's healing touch. The family was deeply respected and loved by all, and their wealth was shared generously with those in need. However, the tranquility of the Nyakato's lives was shattered when Kofi fell mysteriously ill. Despite Kayon's skills and the best efforts of other healers, he succumbed to the ailment, leaving the village in mourning. How could this happen so suddenly? Kayon wept, holding her children close. He was so strong. Kwame, just 13, tried to comfort his mother.
We will be strong for him, Mama. He would want us to be.
The family was left devastated, but Kayon remained strong for her children. Yet, fate dealt another cruel blow when Kayon, too, fell ill and passed away under similarly mysterious circumstances.
Mama, no. Please, don't leave us.
Abena cried, clutching her mother's lifeless hand. Kwame held his sister tightly, his own tears streaming down his face.
We will get through this, Abena. We have to.
Orphaned and grief-stricken, Kwame and Abena were left in the care of their only remaining relatives, their Aunt Zai and Uncle Mansa. Zai and Mansa arrived with promises of love and protection, vowing to look after the children and manage the considerable wealth left behind by Kofi and Kayon. You have nothing to worry about, Zai said, her smile not quite reaching her eyes. We will take care of everything. For a few days, life seemed bearable. The siblings clung to each other, finding solace in their shared memories and the presence of their aunt and uncle. But as the days turned into weeks, the facade of kindness began to crumble.
Kwame, why is Aunt Zai so angry all the time?
Abena whispered one night as they huddled together in their room.
I don't know.
Kwame replied, his brow furrowing.
But we need to be careful.
Zai and Mansa's true natures revealed themselves in harsh words and cruel punishments. Kwame and Abena were treated as mere burdens, subjected to grueling chores and deprived of the comforts they once knew.
Did you think you could laze around just because your parents were rich?
Mansa snarled, throwing a bucket of water at Kwame, who had collapsed from exhaustion.
I'm sorry, Uncle.
Kwame stammered, trying to get back on his feet. The lavish lifestyle their parents had built was now enjoyed solely by Zai and Mansa, who squandered the wealth on their own pleasures. The children's cries for help fell on deaf ears. Even the village chief, once a close friend of Kofi, was bribed into silence. Desperation gnawed at the siblings as they endured the relentless cruelty of their aunt and uncle. Each night, they cried out to the spirits of their parents, praying for deliverance from their suffering.
Mama, Papa, please help us.
Abena sobbed quietly into her pillow. Kwame, though equally broken, held her close.
We must have faith, Abena. They will hear us.
One fateful night, their prayers were answered. As they slept, the spirits of Kofi and Kayon appeared before them, ethereal and comforting.
Fear not, my children.
Kofi's spirit whispered.
We are here to guide you. You must escape and seek justice.
How, Papa?
Kwame asked, his voice trembling.
We are just children.
Kion's spirit touched their faces, filling them with warmth.
You are stronger than you know. We will guide you.
With newfound hope, Kwame and Abena devised a plan to flee. Under the cover of darkness, they slipped away from their home, their hearts pounding with fear and anticipation. They ventured deep into the forest, where the shadows of ancient trees provided refuge from the prying eyes of Zai and Mansa. The forest, though filled with dangers, became their sanctuary. They honed their survival skills, learning to navigate the wilderness and defend themselves against wildlife.
Look, Kwame, I found some berries.
Abena said one morning, holding up a handful of red fruit.
Good job, Abena.
Kwame praised her, inspecting the berries.
This will keep us going.
As days turned into weeks, the siblings grew stronger, fueled by a burning desire for revenge. They uncovered the truth behind their parents' deaths. It was Zai and Mansa who had poisoned them, driven by greed and envy. Kwame clenched his fists in anger.
They will pay for what they did.
Abena nodded, her eyes fierce.
We must be careful. We need a plan.
With this revelation, their resolve hardened. They crafted a meticulous plan to expose their aunt and uncle's treachery to the entire village. Under the veil of night, Kwame and Abena returned to Nzuri. They infiltrated their former home, gathering evidence of Zai and Mansa's misdeeds. The villagers, initially skeptical, were swayed by the overwhelming proof and the heartfelt testimonies of the siblings.
These are the documents showing how they squandered our parents' wealth.
Kwame presented to the village council.
And here are the herbs they used to poison them.
The community was outraged by the betrayal. The chief, ashamed of his prior complicity, now led the charge against Zai and Mansa.
We were wrong to trust them.
The chief declared.
Justice will be served.
Zai and Mansa, once basking in ill-gotten luxury, were dragged before the village council. Their crimes were laid bare, and the elders decreed the harshest punishment, death. Justice was served, and the spirits of Kofi and Kion could finally rest in peace. Kwame and Abena, though scarred by their ordeal, emerged stronger and wiser. They reclaimed their parents' legacy, vowing to honor their memory by leading lives of integrity and compassion.
Kwame, what will we do now?
Abena asked as they stood by their parents' graves.
We will live as they taught us.
Kwame said firmly.
With courage and kindness.
The village of Nzuri, having witnessed the triumph of good over evil, thrived once more, its heart beating with the stories of bravery and resilience. And so, under the watchful eyes of the ancient Baobabs, the tale of Kwame and Abena became a legend, a testament to the unyielding spirit of those who fight for justice, even in the face of overwhelming darkness.